Should you have a cheat day, or is there another option that actually helps you when you're on your weight loss journey? I'm Mike. I'm a fat guy who's trying to not be fat anymore by making lifestyle changes. In this video, we're going to be talking about, well, cheating. First things first, let's clarify the difference between cheat meals and cheat days. So you kind of probably already figured out I'm pretty pro cheat meal, probably not as much cheat day, but again, let's define what these are. And obviously, unlike a cheat day, a cheat meal involves just a meal rather than an entire day of indulgence, where again, like I said, I think cheat meals are really a more sustainable approach that allows you to enjoy your favorite treats and enjoy going out with friends, and it really helps you to stay on track with your fitness goals and still have those moments where you can, go out and have a good time and have a little bit more calories in a single sitting if you just plan around it. So with most things in weight loss, moderation is key, and that's still also true with cheat meals. So it's important to practice portion control and not to go completely overboard. And remember, the goal is to satisfy your cravings and to, engage in social environments and, opportunities to hang out with people without undoing all of that hard work and still, having a good time and enjoying your life. So with that said, let's get into the cheat meal guide and things that I am practicing while I'm going through my weight loss journey. So number one is planning and tracking your cheat meal. Yeah, even though it's a cheat meal, I still track every single thing that I am eating regardless of cheat meal or not. So I also try to plan that a bit more, and we'll get into that in a moment, but I want to hit this pretty hard that cheat meals still get tracked. You don't just sugarcoat your tracking or, tell your nutritional coach all the things that they want to hear and then totally leave out that you actually had ice cream or whatever in a cheat meal, but you tell them everything, and it helps you because obviously you need that, and I need the accountability in this to maintain my progress and move forward. So I need to tell them everything that's going on, and same for you. So you need to hold yourself accountable, and I need to be held accountable as well. It all helps with his weight loss journey. So like I said, with that, here are some practical tips with the accountability, and then we'll get into some of the planning and scheduling. With the tracking / accountability, I highly recommend that you do your best when it comes to tracking. And if you're using either MyFitnessPal or Chronometer, that's great. If you're just writing it down, that's fine. But tracking in some way, making an estimate, even when you're eating out, about how many calories you think you're having, really, you can be wrong, but just make sure you write down what you're having so you have that data and you can play off that for future cheat meals, depending on how your body responds. And if there's something that really you shouldn't be having even when you're on a cheat meal, meaning it really doesn't sit well with you. So like I said, tracking, really big deal. And when I talk about, like I said, the tip for this, it's really just do your best. You don't need to be 100% accurate. Next up, we have planning and really scheduling your cheat meals in advance. So planning and scheduling cheat meals in advance is something that's very helpful, and it gives you something you can look forward to, and also makes it so you can really limit the frequency of how often you have a cheat meal to avoid the, we'll say excessive indulgence. Not that indulgence is bad, but it's really the excessive calories that come with that. You don't want to be in a caloric surplus while you're trying to lose weight. So my recommendation is try to plan your cheat meals at the same time as social events so you can really, again, enjoy the moment. And I try to not have more than one cheat meal. I mean, definitely not more than once a week for me personally, but I try to shoot for around once every other week or maybe once every 10 days, depending on what's going on. So that's the frequency that I'm looking at. Again, about a 1-to-7 ratio, I think is fine, of days to cheat meal. Again, not cheat day, but cheat meal. And then as far as how many calories I go over in that moment, and again, really that comes to planning. Like I said, will try to limit my calorie intake earlier in the day so I'm not going too far on a caloric surplus later in that day. I say again, you could do it another way in that you could have a lighter calorie day. Let's say you were planning a cheat meal on a Saturday. You could try eating less calories on a Friday and maybe following up less calories on a Sunday to make up for that moment that you're having on Saturday going out with friends. So after planning and scheduling your cheat meals, there's also another tip that I've got here for you, which is even when you're on a cheat meal, try to still make a healthier choice if you can. So for example, I love pizza. I'm not going to have the deep dish pizza, but I might have the thin crust pizza. So that way, I still get that pizza fix. I'm still hanging out and, having pizza with friends, but I'm not having the as calorically dense or as what I would consider bad for me or out of balance for my nutritional plan with the thin crust. And again, small tweaks really can make a big difference when it comes to this. And it doesn't mean that, okay, you make the small tweaks so you get twice as much as the healthier or, slightly less bad for you option. It just means that you still get, again, have that cheat meal, have that moment of, like I say, indulgence while not going too far off the rails. Next tip up we have is try to opt for homemade versions of your favorite treats, because that way you can have healthier ingredients and reduce the added sugars and fats that typically come come with the processed or, at restaurant options of these same variants. If you try to include some of the nutrient dense foods along with the treats that we're talking about, it can try to give you a little bit more of a balance and nourishment to your meal while still getting that fix of, the treat that you want for that treat meal. And that's right, I called it a treat meal because I'm also trying to, I guess, relabel the whole cheat meal, remove that kind of from my vocabulary. Because honestly, a cheat meal to me feels like I'm failing. Even when it's planned, scheduled, I'm making the most of it, I'm having the healthier option, or I'm making it at home, I'm doing all of these tips that I'm talking about, I still don't like the idea of a cheat meal that's diverging from my nutritional plan, where really it's part of the plan. So I don't feel like it should be called a cheat meal, but rather a treat meal. So I'm kind of calling it that from now on. But when talking about treat meals, like I said, it's important here to strike a balance between what is good and kind of scratching that itch of wanting that sweet, savory, whatever it is thing, and not feeling too restrictive or going too off the rails when it comes to your nutritional plan. There is a happy balance that you can find, and you find it even easier when you like and subscribe to Weight Warriors. He knew it was coming. If you want to watch more videos that are going to help you on your weight loss journey, definitely subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified when we come out with new content, and comment down below what is your favorite treat meal that really doesn't go too far off the rails, but keeps you going and is pretty tasty. One of my favorites is kind of making like a fage Greek yogurt kind of ice cream thing with stevia. It's delicious and it's pretty good for you and all in all. But back to tips, like I said, I've been talking about trying to make long-term sustainable changes to my lifestyle to really improve my health and have success on my weight loss journey. And like I said, a big part of that is having a positive mindset, and that even comes with around, like I said, treat meals, used to be called cheat meals here, I think is very helpful. Because when you implement the strategies that I've listed above, and really you can plan and have this kind of ritual around treating yourself and maintaining your discipline, I think is great. It's really, your hard work doesn't need to go out the window whenever you have a treat meal, not cheat meal, but treat meal. Because again, I'm not a big fan of using guilt or shame to, propel me. I think, negativity kind of works a little bit to get you motivated, but all in all, I'm not a big fan of keeping it in my life. So instead, I'm going to try to enjoy the experience and get back on track afterwards if I do go off pretty hard. But really, the entire point here is to reward yourself because you're working hard. And that's why I also space them out appropriately and not have them too often. The key to success here is, like I said, finding a balance that works for you. And by implementing the strategies that we talked about and maintaining a positive mindset, you can enjoy your favorite treats while still making progress towards your weight loss goals.